Okay, so this is our disaster resource mapping tool. So you see there's 3 pages down here. So this first page shows just the location of resources. These are the resources that we would typically track during a disaster. And so you can see here all the different types of resources. And we're going to be talking about how Second Harvest would use this. So I'll look at a food distribution site list. You can see when you hover over them, it shows information about each of the sites. And so we have a bunch of different features here, like you can show the path of the storm, and you can filter to um, just the parishes that have category 4 winds. Now, all this is example data because obviously we don't have a disaster currently in Louisiana. This is actually data that we collected during Hurricane Ida. It's a snapshot in time from September 9th of 2021, the resources that were available at that moment in time. But this resourcing tool would be updated by ViewLink's resourcing department multiple times throughout the day as they search for resources by contacting Office of Emergency Preparedness and scouring social media and contacting all of the members of Louisiana VOAD and LEPA. So now we start looking at analysis. This is now starting to show the resources mapped over census data. So again, for that use case of Second Harvest, trying to figure out where to place their distribution sites, we can filter to just show the food distribution sites, and we can look at it, mapping it over food vulnerability census data. Now we can see if I was Lindsay Hendricks, the Chief Impact Officer for Second Harvest, I could identify that we haven't covered New Orleans East very well, so that tomorrow when we think about the sites that we're going to place, we should think about placing more sites in New Orleans East, or if I was a Greater New Orleans Foundation, I could use this information to know that we needed to provide funding to Household of Faith or Greater St. Stephen's, some of the organizations that do a lot of great feeding work out in New Orleans East. And then finally on this last page, we start seeing insights. So I'll look continuing on the food distribution site example. I'll look at food distribution sites and I'll use those filters to just look at category for wind parishes. And we can see now number of food distribution sites per resident in poverty, per food insecure resident, and per disabled resident. And we see for all of these, Terrebonne Parish is farthest behind in terms of number of food distribution sites per resident. And that's what we saw during Hurricane Ida, that the storm really came up here during, the storm came up right through Terrebonne